You ready? Okay, cool. All right, so my name is DJ Eat the Booty Like Groceries, and I'm with my guys. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, sorry. All right. Everybody, I'm with my homies Bazooka Ben and DJ Deli. They're one of the chillest people I met last year when I started DJing at the clubs. Um, yeah, what's up, guys?
Yo.
Kirsten, you're the mic.
Oh, there's my cat. Oh shit.
Hey. Yeah, it's 7 right now. We're just chilling. Yeah, bro. I mean, I guess we'll start off with how you guys got started DJing. How did you start, Deli?
Wow. I started DJing. Wow, actually, as a matter of fact, after you probably weren't old enough. Ben, do you remember Venue 126?
Yeah.
Oh, I was there when I was
So,
like
you said what?
nothing. Never mind.
Oh, anyway, yeah. So I was working there with A1 actually, as we all know. Me and A1, and I was a light jockey before I became a DJ.
You
So
handled the
all of a
lights.
sudden, yeah, I did all the lighting. So I used to do the lightings at the club and all that, play with lights and all that. So I used to work a light board.
Mm.
Um, but yeah. Other than that, once the GM came up to me one night, was like, "Hey, you should learn how to DJ if you're gonna be in the booth." And from that point on, yeah, that's where it all started.
Dang. Okay.
So I started at Venue when I was like 19. Well, I was like, wait, no, I was actually 18 at the time. 19 is when I actually started kind of picking up on my own a little bit. And then around like 20, I would say like 22, barely turning 22 is like when my career kind of started downtown a little more. Things started picking up a little more and all that. So, yeah, it's been a crazy ride.
Right. And then it got you into Shake, got you into Dirty, all those places.
Yeah, actually, realistically, it started at Shake.
Mm.
Yeah, it started with the old resident at Shake. He let me shadow him one night, kind of brought me on, showed me how it worked a little bit, and let me do a little thing, a little something, not too crazy.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
yeah, no, shout out to DJ A Train. If you bring his name around to a lot of the OGs, you would know who he is.
Gotcha. Dang. Okay. Bazooka. How'd you get started?
So I started off like breakdancing like every Asian kid in high school, pretty much. But yeah, no, I started breakdancing, and after a few years, I got into this crew called DEFCON 5, and there was already like a bunch of DJs in that crew. And I knew like I wasn't going to be able to dance forever, so I wanted to pick up another craft in like hip hop. I knew I couldn't rap, and like graffiti was like not something like I didn't really care to try, but DJing caught my attention because it's like crowd control, right? And I like learning about people. I like learning like just like being in a social setting. It's always fun. So I kind of picked that up in college, and I got my first pair of turntables in like 2012, using my student loan money. So after I graduated, I had like I think like $3 or $4 that I was like in debt for, and that was all like DJ equipment.
Oh,
So I
no.
used my student loans for that. But I was a bedroom DJ for like 1 or 2 years, and I didn't really like care to like really practice until some of my friends hit me up to like do these house parties. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna bring like $3,000 worth of gear to your apartment or your house, and we're gonna have like a great time. So that happened. And then after a couple years, like I linked up with some of the other members, and they like showed me how to beat match and all that stuff. So I was more like a mixed DJ than like those technical DJs like yourself, FJ. But yeah, so I started doing that, and then my good friend Brian Mighty Moves, he's like, yo, like actually before that, we threw our own events. So like if you're from Portland, in 2014 we did this event called PDX NYE, and that was like my first event that I did that had like I think it was like 800 to like 1200 people with my good friend Levi, DJ Leviathan, and DJ Mighty Moves. So that was like my first event that I did, and I've never played for people. And I opened, and I remember like I had like a pre-selected playlist. I was like, oh shit, like what am I gonna play, right? So I mash it up with all like BPMs, and at that time I didn't know like mixing in key or anything like that. I was going song after song, like what I thought would be a good opening playlist. So I did that. Was my first event, and then eventually my friend Brian's like, "Yo, you should hit up Eric." Shout out to DJ Evil One.
Yeah.
And then for the past like 3 years, I've been DJing for his spots to Maxwell, Fortune, and that got me to like Reverie District. And then, yeah, since then that opened a lot of doors for me. But that's how I got into DJing.
Crazy, man. How did you? So that first gig that you had was like 800 to 1,000, right? Or 12,000.
Yeah, it was a New Year's Eve party, so it had a lot of people. And my friend Levi and I, we like promote events, whether it's like break dancing or shit at like PSU, or like we love throwing events, and we threw like a bunch of like break dancing events.
Mhm.
So doing something like that wasn't hard, but it was just appealing to a different crowd.
Got you.
Hey, real quick, Ben, did you ever do any of the dance battles at PSU at all?
I did, yeah. I competed in a few, didn't win any, but like I hosted a few and then competed in a few.
Because I competed in one at PSU as well myself. So
Oh
You
shit!
dance? Okay.
yeah, dancing is what really built the foundation to all this. So yes, I used to dance before the whole DJ thing too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Damn, bro. We're gonna fucking battle it out on the tables and then battle it out on the floor.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
and I wish I would have won a battle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, was it intimidating your first gig though? Because that's a lot of people.
Yeah, like I was super nervous, but like, and I remember my hands being super shaky too, and I kind of knew like when I was gonna transition out, and it wasn't so much of being like creative or like crowd control. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna play this hour set, this opening set, and get people warmed up for the other guys that were a little bit more experienced for playing for crowds. So yeah, man. Like, I mean, like I had a set playlist. I already knew what I was gonna play, but you know how like on the weekend you kind of have a good idea of what you're gonna play and like how you're gonna like almost curate the night. And then you know what to do if like, oh, maybe it's a little slow right now, or maybe it's fucking packed. You know what to play essentially, right? And then there's always that bit where like, oh, like I'm gonna try this because I think the crowd's gonna like this or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And that's fun though. Just doing a big crowd like that. It's in Portland. It's hard to find a gig like that where there's a lot of people. More than 50 capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But Deli, what was your first experience like?
First gig actually, like first like DJ gig like in the 21 and up crowd.
Yeah. Or
Actually,
whichever.
realistically, my first gig was actually in Salem. It was actually at the Midnight Sports Bar, and so at the time I was with the homie Romy. Shout out to DJ Romy. He kind of mentored me a little bit too before the whole crazy thing.
I love them.
And
They are super
one day so at the time when I did that gig, I was actually DJing at the Hookah Lounge. That was like my residency, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so the DJ from Salem agreed to switch places with me for the night. So I ended up just losing pay just to experience the 21 and up scene. And that was I was kind of intimidated. I still got pictures from that. And I shit you not, my face in those pictures looked so like nervous, like there was sweat bullets dripping down my face.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it wasn't like a really huge crowd, but they had a super busy night. and it was cool. Like I was like, all right, well, this is like my expectations were like up here, but reality it was like average, you know.
Right, right, right.
Because you going in there, you go from playing from a crowd that's between the ages of like 18 to 18 and 20, for the most part, and now you're playing for a crowd that's like 21 to like 40. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So so your expectations are gonna be like, all right, so it's an older crowd, so you want to hit them with like the good stuff, which what's the definition of realistically good music to the older crowd versus our crowd or even younger crowd.
Like
So
90s.
exactly. So like I said, my first gig was at like a little bar in Salem.
Got you.
So
So it wasn't even in Portland. It was in Salem.
yeah, first time, yeah, no, yep, Salem,
Man,
crazy.
that's crazy. And you lived up here.
Yeah, I lived up here. Yeah,
Crazy, man. That's a long
actually at
time.
the time I was living in. It's not that bad though. About what? Realistically, it's like 45 minutes out. So,
I'm thinking of Eugene, like 3 hours. My bad.
but I played in Albany though.
Oh, you
Drove
did?
to Yeah, I've driven to Albany in the night, played there, and drove right back.
You're crazy, man.
No, imagine playing in Seaside for New Year's drive to Seaside and then drive back at 3 in the morning.
Man, that's crazy. Shoot.
So,
Well, yeah. Okay. So, like, having some experience, or more experience than me for sure. But DJing clubs in general, like, what do you think Portland's vibe is? Does Portland have a vibe, a sound?
uh, man, how would you answer that?
What's up?
Man, how would you answer that question?
Well, to be honest, like I've only been in the scene for like 2 or 3 years, and like I don't know, like I don't know if Portland has a sound. I think if I were to like describe it, I think it would set the tone if we had like more people like Amine, right? Like where he's somewhat like I'd say like a pretty big artist, right? And he's more recognizable. I don't know, like it's kind of hard. Like I feel like to all the venues that I've been in, like they all play for the most part, on the weekends they're gonna play more of the similar stuff that you can hear all around. But it's those off nights is what kind of dictates what the sound is gonna be. So I mean, I went to church, which is like a bar that's on like the east side of Portland.
Yeah, not like a church that you go to praise God.
Oh no, not this one. It's more like
Yeah.
let's turn up. But no, like I feel like it's more of a loungy like vibe, like R&B type stuff, rather than like, oh, let's get fucked up, let's get turned, like no turn up anthems really. So I don't know, for Portland, I think there's definitely more than one sound, like to compare to like other markets like the Bay Area. You're gonna have like that type of music versus like East Coast, Chicago. But then again, like I haven't really explored too much in other cities to really know, like, I think that comes with the experience. But I think for it to set the tone or the sound, having more artists that are like, I guess, putting out more work where it's more recognizable across the nation or even the world, that's what's going to develop Portland sound, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Yeah, the experience that I experienced at DJing for the year that I've been, it's mainly like you said, music around the world. We don't really have a sound like Philly has, Will Smith and Meek Mill, so they could play them, to praise Philly sometimes. Like you said, Bay Area, P-Lo, all those classic Bay Area joints by Mac Dre. And up here it's different because we don't really have that sound. Like we do have Amine, but I haven't been to or DJ'd any nights where if we play him, like, we go crazy, you know?
Yeah,
It's
I
more.
agree. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like, with Amine, like, he's definitely putting on for the city, and I think he's still fresh, even though I think he blew up like almost 3 years ago, like about 3, almost 4 years ago. But I think besides like Amine, I think we need like more than just Amine,
Mhm.
We
Yeah, no
need
shade to Amine either. No shade. Like, it's just what we experience.
exactly.
Yeah,
I think
I think there's
that's
like
why.
a lot of artists that like maybe don't get the recognition that they like need or like should have. Motaz, yo, that dude is dope. Like
Mhm.
his lyrics, his sound, his voice is like super on point. But the other aspect of that is kind of hard to like play his stuff at a club, whether like on a busy night. You probably play his stuff on like a more chill, like, or maybe um a closing thing, but like it just depends. I think we need more artists that do like turn up type shit to kind of like get their names out there to be played in the club, but it depends on the event, the venue, and what kind of thing you're trying to go for.
Well,
Right.
it's crazy because I've been working with Scooter Rogers. He's the artist I'm DJing for right now, and we've been doing a lot of like online shows and all that. And I'm telling you, his music, like a lot of the tracks he's been putting out, would actually turn up in the club. Like I could see him being like a grown, not being more than a grown face of Portland, alongside with Amine.
Mm.
So I could definitely see him coming up as like next one of Portland's next biggest things.
Mm. Yeah,
So
probably. Hopefully, we kind of need that. We kind of need that fire up here. Like, um, to be honest, from what I see, like, when before COVID, like, Portland needs some sort of boost. Like, I feel like the club scene anywhere is kind of not dull. I'm not trying to say dull, but like, it's the same. It feels like it's the same stagnant
it,
uh,
it's
feel.
bland. We can be real on this chat though. It's a little bland. Yeah, I get it. Because
Yeah.
it's like with certain DJs. I'm not saying with all, but I guess we're trying to please. I think we're trying to do more pleasing. I think we're trying to please more than versus like digging deeper in our inner creativity. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say this. I'm not speaking for all DJs, I'll be honest. Like I'm the same way. I think I try to please more versus like digging more into my inner creativity and trying to really bring out
Hmm.
a different sound.
Hmm. I
I
think
think
I
to
feel that way.
yeah.
I think to go off of what you're saying, Deli, I know like throwing your own events or like a weekly thing is something to like combat that, because then you're throwing an event that you actually want to DJ. Like for example, I had this idea to do mashup Mondays where you only strictly play mashups of songs or like remixes, and you don't play like the original or anything like that. So it kind of gets, maybe some of the people that didn't like to go out, like, oh shit, like that's dope, I like hearing remixes only, or you know what I mean, like Motown Mondays is a good example too. Like that night specifically, you're only going to hear records, like that. um so I think that's what, if we feel like we're pleasing too much, we need to like do something on our end to like, okay, I'm gonna do this type of event and it's gonna be formatted this way at this venue at this time.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of like the hard part, like finding something that works. Also, like Portland is just, I feel like it's not a party city, like
Hmm.
It,
everything closes
it,
at 2 and like now
Yeah.
they close at 10, but like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, Ben, you're not lying though. Portland really isn't much of a party city at all though.
Yeah.
It's like we get tourists, and as a matter of fact, as both of you, as we all know this, we've all played at Tube on Saturday, at least once.
I haven't.
We You haven't?
Nah.
Hey, I'm pretty sure we've all played one time at Tube on Saturday, but we all
I'll
know
say that I
this.
did.
Okay, Ben. But we've all noticed a good majority of the customers that come in there are tourists.
Okay.
It is a big tourist attraction, and it's not only that, but also as a matter of fact, even being the time I spent at Shake, that almost that year and a half I was there being resident every Friday, Saturdays, it's also a tourist attraction. And I think at that point we, like I said, having the opportunity there that should have been a little more creative, and I did it. Now I'm looking back at those times, I'm like, this is it. Like during this quarantine and this time to really reflect and go back, I'm like, you know what? Time to bring something different. And for some of you guys who know or don't know, I have my own mixture on the radio. I run Fridays on 96.7 The Numbers from 9 to 10 p.m. And I think even as of then, like I'm gonna start switching up the format. I'm gonna start doing a little more exclusive on there. And I think that's the goal, to bring like more of an exclusive sound. We have the opportunity. Everybody have access to Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, and all the streaming platforms, right? And some of those do offer the remixes, the exclusives, the remixes to certain songs. But as us DJs, we have that. We have the tools. We have the tools and the knowledge and all that to bring more of an exclusive sound. So.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you want to turn down your radio. It's just a little distracting.
A little bit.
Sorry. A little bit. Hey, no. Because it's going to get 100 million views. I'm trying to have people have the best experience,
My bad.
You good, man. You good.
So yeah, let's see. Yeah, speaking on that, touring, like a tourist city, Portland. I think, gosh, so this is my opinion. I love Evil One's club stuff. How he has them all in one area. Everybody can go bar hopping to a different bar or club of his that he owns, right? But for bars and clubs in general, I feel that it's kind of hard for us DJs to have a good amount of people because there's so many clubs and bars around that they all they want to do is just hop around, you know what I mean? And they don't want to stay. And I feel like as DJs, we feed off of energy, and it's hard to maintain that energy when there's so many areas that people can go and move around to. But then again, that's also as our job, we have to attract people, make sure that we're doing our job as DJs,
Yeah, I agree. To kind of go off on a little bit off of that is, I know I definitely struggle with that, playing at some of the smaller spots, but it's sometimes I guess it just depends on perspective and what night it is, right? So on the weekend, you can kind of get away and just be pretty successful at what you're doing. On the weekdays, it's a little bit tougher because one, there's not a lot of people out, but the people that you manage to keep there, that's, to me in itself, I think that's an accomplishment, and I was successful that night. And it's also it kind of develops your skills of who you want to target. One of the bartenders, Nam, that works for Evil One as well, he would describe how DJ Scout plays. He could say, hey, play for that group of girls, and then Scout would kind of analyze them and then throw on these few tracks, and it would speak to them. I haven't developed that skill yet, but it's kind of cool. If you kind of think you play one song and then people are vibing to that, and then you play the next song and they're getting into that, and you kind of have a good idea of what you're going to play for those certain people. Now, the fun part is when you throw a curveball in there and it's yo, what the fuck is this? And then, you somehow do a dope transition, or you link it to you bring it back and you like re-engage them into like whatever they're listening to, like that into it in itself to me is like super fun. And to like on the slow nights I tend to like take more risk and stuff like that.
It's funny because I take more risk on the weekends. I remember I used to throw like Aretha Franklin on during prime time or something. Have everyone start singing or like throw a party in the USA and like a random time when everyone's super drunk and all that. I don't know. I think those are the fun moments for me.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I feel like you know, when we play at a club, we tend to try to please the crowd, right? And I feel that most of the time we tend to play the club joints because that's what people like, right? They're like everybody can vibe out to it, everybody knows the song. But as DJs, we get bored sometimes playing the same stuff over and over every night, every weekend, you know. It like sometimes we have to take calculated risks and and throw those curveballs in there to have fun, to let the people know that we're actually not jukeboxes, and we're you know we're here to make the energy lively, and you know, like we're still here, we're still DJs, like, you know, we have a job, but our job is to, you know, not only please you but to yeah, I don't know where I was going with this.
No, I get what you're saying. Like to bounce off what FJ just said, it's pretty much the same thing. Like we're I mean I don't know about a lot of people, but I know for the most part we're taught that we want to please. The thing is, we want to play music people can either sing to or dance to, pretty much. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if they know the lyrics to the song, you know everybody's gonna all be singing the song and get down to it. If it's something they can dance to, like like Back That Ass Up,
Yeah.
everybody knows that song. Yeah, so everybody's gonna dance. That's the one song like you could throw on any given point in time, everybody would dance to, or Blow the Whistle.
Right.
One of the two major songs you could play. It'll get the crowd going no matter what.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. You always have those joints in there. But you know, it's also fun because you know those people like those music, like they know the lyrics, right? So what's up? What's up?
It's my cat.
Wait, what's his name again? It's not Mochi.
This one's Inky.
Inky, that's right. My bad.
Here, say hi, Inky.
But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, Blow the Whistle. Everybody knows it. But there was this video that DJ Vega put out on his story at one time, and it was him playing at a club, throwing on everything that everybody knew, and then he threw in a Pokemon theme song, and then everybody stopped and looked, right? But they know it, so they're like, so they got hype and everything, and it got to the Pokemon, like, you know, the whole theme that everybody knows, and they went crazy. Right. So that's the fun part too, is like just throwing in those curveballs, but everybody knows it, and you have fun and they have fun at the same time.
Oh man, hey, curveballs are the best, especially when you play Backstreet Boys out of nowhere sometimes.
Oh, man, for sure, man. All the time. Yes, sir.
Backstreet's Back. You can never fail with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how do you guys feel about Chinatown's vibe of Portland compared to across the bridge? Is that the west side or the east side?
East side.
East side. Okay, so you guys been to both, right? Swift and Lulu, maybe.
I've let's see. I played at Swift. I played at Century. I played at Church.
Right. What's the difference between those two? I feel like there is a difference because I feel like Chinatown is for tourists, like you said, and then I feel like the other side is for the locals.
You actually do hit it. You hit a good point on that actually. So from the experience,
bro, you cutting out, bro. You didn't pay your phone bill.
From playing at Legend. And the thing about Century is the difference between playing at Century and playing downtown is I pretty much it's like a mix. It's like a mixture of everything, right? So you know how downtown, we want to stick to a certain format on the weekends. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
top 3 and all all recognizable songs.
Mhm.
Well, playing on the east side, it's definitely a different vibe because you can definitely get away with a lot more and definitely hit with with like newer, like not known, like not like big songs, but still be hitters like within the club scene and all that.
Mhm.
So, like I said, it's definitely a different vibe, and I feel like with the east side, it definitely pops. It definitely stays a little more consistent versus like the downtown scene where it fluctuates up and down crowd wise.
Mhm.
With the exception of Dixie's and Jones. Um, I don't know if you two been there. I don't know if you two been inside of Jones or
I
not.
have.
I haven't.
Nope.
Okay,
They closed. Rest in peace.
I know.
I know. There's a little bit of a rumor going on, but we can talk about that among ourselves. But
Mhm.
anyways, but yeah, with the exception of Jones and Dixie's, how they stay consistent with the crowd wise and all that, and they're always busy every weekend on both Fridays and Saturdays, versus some of the other spots that can be a hit or miss on Friday. Um, that's how the East Side is pretty much. With spots like Dig a Pony, Lulu's, and all that.
Right.
So, Church,
Mhm.
and several more.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
So,
Well, yeah, I think shoot, I didn't pay the thing. It's like if you get Zoom for this amount of
Premium.
money,
Yeah.
you can go further than 40 minutes, but it's telling me I gotta shut it off.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, yeah.
No, we good.
But yeah, I'll probably just I think this is a good place to stop anyway, for now.
Yeah, definitely. I think we covered a lot of ground.
Definitely, definitely. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on, man. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Good seeing you through the screen.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man.
hey, we all gotta catch.
Yeah, we gotta
Hey,
catch
we gotta
up.
throw out that mixtape. Mixtape.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
what's up?
Oh yeah,
Let's
that.
do let's do a big mix together. I'm down.
Yeah, man. We just gotta figure out how to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, let's just we can message each other details in the group chat and all that. We'll
Right.
call it we'll call it the Nuggies.
The nuggies, the nuggies. Yeah, chicken nuggies. All right, man.
Chicken
I'm
nuggets.
down with it.
Appreciate you guys, bro.
All right, later, guys. Peace.
Later.
Deuces.